Welcome to Beyond the Darkness. Tonight, we're stepping into the shadows of a war long forgotten, a battlefield buried under smoke, silence, and the screams of men who never came home. But one soldier survived, and the story he carried back with him was not of enemy fire, but of something far older, far hungrier, and watching them from just beyond the flames. And listen closely. Some stories are told to warn us. This one is told because the monster might still be out there. I was 18 when the war began for me. Young, frightened, and full of misplaced bravado. I joined the infantry like most lads did, out of duty, fear, and youthful certainty that nothing could truly break a man. We marched across fields and through forests, shells screaming high above us, mud dragging at our boots. Hell, we saw things most men couldn't imagine, but nothing prepared me for what came at us in the summer of 1943, near a ravaged French town, once called Saint-Marc. We had been pushed back through that village after a botched advance. The smell of corpses was thick between the shattered walls. Then the fog rolled in. Unnatural, heavy, and silent. I remember that mist settling like a shroud over the broken ground. My platoon was exhausted, starving and on edge. I remember flicking the safety of my rifle for the 100th time that day, fingers numb, sweat and grime clinging to my face. It began with a sound, low and rhythmic, like distant hooves pounding into the earth. At first, it seemed far off, but as the seconds passed, that thump became unmistakable. Footsteps, but not like any I'd ever heard. Heavy, deliberate. In the silence of the war-torn village, it sounded immense. Out of the haze came something impossible. A massive equine shape, taller than any horse I'd ever seen, its skin eerily translucent, rippling with the grotesque anatomy beneath. Fused to its back was a torso, human in shape, arms grotesquely long, dragging almost to the ground, ending in wicked bone-like claws. Where its nose should have been, there was only a hollow cavity. Its anatomy screamed wrong, unnatural. It was every nightmare I'd ever feared, all wrapped into one hellish form. Our sergeant shouted, but the sound was swallowed by the creature's arrival. It didn't walk. It came with purpose. Each step seemed to shake the ground beneath us. The horses we'd known in camp were gentle compared to this monstrosity. Men dropped their rifles, paralyzed by terror. I swear you could feel its awareness as soon as it turned toward us. It was as though it knew we were there. One of the locals that was with us whispered that one of them monsters. It detected anyone who looked upon it. And once seen, it marks you forever. Don't look at it, he said, yawling. We fired. Rifles cracked in futile defiance. The beast barely flinched. Bullets shattered on its body like sparks of iron. We could see its muscles under that translucent hide, living, rippling, utterly unaffected. Engineers whispered later that conventional weapons don't affect these entities, as though flesh and bone are irrelevant to them. I remember Thompson, a lad from Liverpool, screaming as the creature's long arms shot out, grasping him like he was made of smoke. His screams were terrible, half howl, half human protest. And then silence. The creature didn't eat him. It absorbed him. One moment he was caught, the next he was gone. Just gone. In flinch it came for me smiling. I ran, babbling incoherently, through the ruins, across broken stone and shattered glass. I heard my platoon die one by one until their cries fell silent. I stumbled, breath burning, heart pounding like war drums. Shadows wriggled in my vision. I got to the edge of the fog where the morning sun threatened to burn it off. I thought I was safe, but then I heard a shriek that was neither beast nor human. A sound so piercing it felt as though my skull would split. I fell. A wave of anguish washed through me, and then nothing. I woke hours later, dawn's gold rays breaking across fields now eerily calm. My rifle was beside me. My uniform was torn and smeared with mud, and I was alone. I searched for survivors. None. No bodies, no sign of any of my platoon. Just silence. I made it out of France barely. The war ended. I came home, haunted by night terrors and memories that felt unreal. I tried to speak about what I saw, but every time I did, people looked at me with pity or disbelief. They said it was PTSD, shock, exhaustion, a mind breaking under the weight of war. But I know what I saw. Years later, I learned that the thing I encountered had a name among those who study anomalies. Its name was the Orcadian horseman that manifest near sites of war, disaster, and mass destruction. Descriptions in secure journals matched that night's horror quadrupedal creatures, resembling horses but with fused humanoid torsos, grotesque appearances, and abilities that defy comprehension. Witnesses reported that once an instant sees a person, it becomes aware of them perpetually, stalking its target through environments until it captures them. I thought it was a single creature, but records later showed multiple instances were reported in similar war zones across the past century near Hiroshima, the trenches of WWI, even around the ruins of epidemics. I fear that one day, in the silence of night, it might remember my face and will comfort me with that evil smile. The soldier lived long enough to tell his story, but the nightmares followed him to his final breath. Whatever he saw on that battlefield, it never stopped following him. Thank you for descending into the darkness with us tonight. If you want more true horror, more encounters that defy explanation, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Beyond the Darkness. Your support keeps the shadows alive and the stories coming. Until next time, stay safe, stay alert, and remember, some monsters don't stay in the past.